What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Comic Hugh. Here we talk about marathon training. This video is week 2. We're going over my runs and my lifts of a 13-week build towards the Corning Wineglass full marathon in October. My goal is to hit a 3:30 marathon. That would be about a 16-minute personal best. So stick around, see what happens. Today, we're gonna be going over my second week of training, the runs I did, the days I did them, and also the 3 times I got into the gym for some weightlifting, resistance training, super helpful. I think it's helped me get over kind of a recent plateau. But in general, the way I structure my workouts could be totally applied to what you have going on, or maybe you don't have anything going on, and this would be a good direction to create some structure in your training, whether you're in the middle of marathon training or just looking for a good routine. I think there's a lot of takeaways from this. So in general, this could be your full week of marathon training, of running and workouts. But yeah, let's jump into it. Let me know what you think in the comments, and let's roll through the week. All right, so just like last week, when we talk about training, we gotta go to the book. The notes are in here. This is where the magic happens. Monday, 5 miles, easy. I was definitely coming off some soreness from the 12+ miler the day before. Always Mondays, just shaking it out, easy miles. That was also compounded with a nice push day. This is the same kind of classic push day I've been doing for weeks. The only kind of note I put in Strava is that I did max out a little bit higher, not max out, but I went a little bit higher on bench press, got up to 175 and hit that 4 times for my last set. I like to do 4 sets of bench on a push day. So yeah, up in the weight, felt good, felt strong, kind of cool. Tuesday, another kind of banging day for me in terms of workouts. I got 6.4 miles easy with 6 strides at the end. That's generally just 10 to 15 seconds max of kind of, giving it a good push. Not max effort, but just kind of getting in a mini almost sprint. I'd say about 80% effort. Good to get the leg turnover in. Combining that a little bit later in the day, I got a pull day in. Again, it's a classic pull day. I'm deadlifting, I'm doing pull-ups, rows, some curls, that kind of stuff. But one note from that was pull-ups felt strong. I think the kind of wide grip classic pull-up, I felt like I had a little bit more control, and I managed 3 sets of 6. Trying to build on that, maybe one day I'll be doing weighted pull-ups like a big guy. Probably not. We'll see. Wednesday was the mini long run. When it comes to structure, this is something I'll talk about a little bit later, but generally it's just kind of a mini long run in the middle of the week. 7 miles. This will get up to about 11 or 12 once I hit peak marathon training. 7 miles, pretty smooth. Started around 10:30 pace and kind of gradually floated down to about a 9:10-ish pace. There was no real intention behind that other than I think I was just feeling kind of smooth, building into the workout. We had a good time. All right, Thursday, we got 4 miles in, real easy. It's funny how you ramp up in miles. No matter what you're doing, the lower mileage day kind of already feels like a treat. At least it does in my head. It feels almost like, it's no rest day, but it still feels nice. So 4 miles felt like a little bit of a treat. That's what I added into Strava for my notes. And then we also got our last lift in for the week. This is a leg day. I've got the full thing written down. We did squats, Romanian deadlift, Bulgarian split squats. Originally, my plan had weighted lunges, like walking lunges. That kind of was just like overloading my legs and it was making me too sore. I feel like I can control the Bulgarian split squats a little bit better, isolate, and they don't totally wreck me. So, maybe I will continue to do the Bulgarian split squats for a couple more weeks and then maybe try lunges again after I've built up a little bit more muscle. Everything's gradual. Make adaptations to however you can do your workouts. It's another tip for you. Friday was a miracle, 6 miles easy, but we actually had a big drop in humidity here in upstate New York. Well, I guess just in my area. I guess other parts might not have. Big humidity drop, 6 miles felt unbelievable. I'm sure my pace was a little bit quicker than normal just because it felt nice. I think it was the first day I wore a shirt for a bit during a summer run. So that's how you know. Yeah, and then Saturday we got that long run in. We got 14 miles in, felt good. Again, the humidity still kind of dropped off compared to earlier in the week, so it felt really good. I got out relatively early, pretty consistent. Actually, the paces did kind of come down a little bit, around 9:30 pace for 14. And I think I finished my last one a little bit quicker than some of the other miles in there. So built into that one, felt good. My notes, I did drink basically 1 full scoop of G1M Sport in about 20 ounces. And then I took gels on 4, 8, and 12. Probably overkill, but no one's gonna you got to train how you're going to race. And I'm going to be gelling at least probably every 4 miles. Even if it's a super cold day, your body needs it. I mean, you're not sweating as much, but like I was sweating a lot. So we gelled on the 4s. Yeah. And that got us to a nice 42-mile week. And today's Sunday. So I've been kind of chilling. Okay. So that was my week in itself. And now I just want to kind of recap the structure of it so that you can maybe take something away from this. It's a little bit more easier to take away. You could adapt it to whatever you got going on. So basically it is always going to be for me Monday, low miles easy with a lift. That's my push day. It's my favorite day. So I like to put it at the beginning of the week. Tuesday, we're doing slightly higher miles, pretty easy. I'm throwing in strides though at the end right now. That's pretty much my only speed work for the time being. Then we got a lift later that day. That's my pull day. Second favorite workout, get it done early in the week. Monday and Tuesday, I've already got some miles based and I've got 2 big gym sessions done. Wednesday, mini long run. That's going to be your second highest mileage of the week. That's going to get up for me to 11, 12 miles when I'm in peak marathon training. For now, it's about 7 miles. No lift that day. Thursday, you're getting a little bit more miles in. Generally for me, it's the same as Tuesday. Easy. Later on in training, I will be throwing in structured speed work that will either be within Thursday or in Wednesday. Thursday then has that final lift in the afternoon. For me, that's legs. Friday, low mileage or rest day. You don't need to be ripping things away. I'm always going to be getting that's similar to like a Monday, but without the lift. Just get those easy miles in. And then the weekend, you're doing your long run. So all that being said, you could take this structure. I've used it for a 30-mile week and a 70+ mile week. It works really well for me. It's adaptable. You can pull days out if you need another rest day, or you can take the same structure and add more miles in. You throw 1 double day in there. Maybe you combine 2 gym sessions into 1. So you're only doing 2 lifts per week. And then on the day that you're not doing a lift, you're doing a double session for miles. Great way to, up that mileage if that's what your real goals are. So super adaptable. I've seen this from, so many people. I'm not creating anything here. I'm not the inventor of the perfect structure, nor am I an amazing, marathoner. I'm going for a 3:30. So I'm just a normal guy. This is how I structure it. I thought it might be helpful for anyone else out there looking to create kind of a full week of training, running, lifting combo. So that's how I do it. And with all that being said, that is going to wrap up this video. Like, comment, subscribe if you're into any of that kind of stuff. This is week 2 for me. I will be putting out at least a video every week with how training is going and hopefully with some adaptable, tips, I guess, for people out there. Like I just said before, not a master, but hopefully you can find something helpful here. And yeah, enjoy yourselves out there. Enjoy your runs. I'll see you next week. Peace. Always a piece. We're all a piece of the pie. We're all a piece of the pie.